Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to the proper first episode of our new TEW series, The Evolution, will be televised. This is a mod I found somewhere sitting in my mods I downloaded, so I'm going to assume it's from the Grey Dog Software forums. But yeah, 2003. Pretty much near the start of the Ruthless Aggression era. So I'm really interested to see, do I keep Austin and The Rock around for a while? Do I keep Hogan around for a bit? Or, do you let them go and do we properly transition through the likes of Edge, Randy Orton, Batista, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, you name it, so many stars. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's probably one of the most stacked rosters I think I've ever used to start with. So many big names here, even as mid-carders, it's crazy. So I'm really looking forward to booking this. And yeah, hopefully you guys will join me in this. So looking forward to it. I had a wee recap back and watched a bit of Mania 19 just to get an idea of who was facing who. Won't be anywhere near that card. There'll be some similarities to it, but yeah, let's just crack on with the show. As always, it's going to start off a bit slow. The mod maker's got a few storylines already in it, which is good. It means we'll be at a certain heat for our storylines. We'll slowly but surely phase away from them as I say, we kick on with the series. So it's quite cool. We dive straight into the road to WrestleMania. Get 3 months to book, obviously, the Rumble, No Way Out, and WrestleMania, and then we can really branch out. As I say, the likelihood is, I'll just admit it now, we're probably going to sign Goldberg as soon as we finish Mania, so he'll debut the night after Mania. Oh, who knows, might debut at Mania. To be confirmed. Yeah, let's dive in. One other thing I'll say, rosters are pretty thin. Having booked Sunday Night Heat, I'm not going to broadcast the results of Sunday Night Heat. It was just your usual mavens, etc. that were on that. Doesn't leave a lot of people for a 2-hour broadcast, which I was quite surprised at. So we'll be stuck with Heat for a year. I don't want to ditch that just because it's quite high in terms of MTV looking at it. They've got a good exposure, so it would affect overness of some of the wrestlers. So we'll keep Heat just now, but don't be surprised if a few guys end up moving from SmackDown to Raw or developmental, or maybe WCW guys that didn't get picked up came in as well. But we'll crack on. Here is the first edition of Monday Night Raw. So we start the show with Triple H, Ric Flair, and Scott Steiner. This is going to be our feud going forward. Triple H versus Scott Steiner for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's a delightful A95 segment with all guys working well, unscripted. It got the show off to a good start, although Triple H came out of it looking excellent. Scott Steiner looked poor, and the storyline did advance and gain heat. Purpose here is just really Scott Steiner saying he's fed up of being screwed out of the championship, and at the Royal Rumble, Freakzilla is going to show he deserves to be the champion, and he's going to take Triple H apart. So A95, of course, Evolution has not been formed as of yet, although by the title of the series, I think you know where we're going with that. So at the moment it is just Triple H and Ric Flair. The rest of the pieces will come together. But basically, Triple H and Ric Flair try to beat down Scott Steiner, and this leads to a run-in from the Big Red Machine Kane to make the save. And this will also set up our main event match for this evening, which is going to be Triple H and Ric Flair taking on Scott Steiner and Kane. So that was a B plus 84. As you can imagine, when I saw this, I thought we would hope for a bit more star power in the main event, but it is what it is. Triple H and Flair certainly star power. Steiner and Kane, as I say, was already starting to fizzle down. I do want to have a proper Kane push in this though, because 2002 Kane was pretty badass, and then he lost the mask, and the rest is history. But we start off with a good match, which saw Rob Van Dam defeat William Regal in 10:22 with a 5-star frog splash. Nice opener, B80. William Regal was off his game. RVD 182 performance to the 66 of William Regal. I'm quite happy with this matchup. As I say, it was a chance to realise, the depth of this roster. There's definitely going to be strong pushes in the future for RVD, and of course William Regal will be a champion in this without a shadow of a doubt. So delighted with that. A lot of good improvements there. Only negative was Regal's inconsistency. Next up, basically Regal's in the back, obviously disappointed, but decides to kiss the ass of Eric Bischoff, effectively just saying he'll always watch the GM's back. Chief Morley's there as well, So it's kind of this kind of alliance between Bischoff, Regal, and Morley going forward. So a B79, I just really showing where William Regal's alliances lie. Hype video for Randy Orton, C-56. I'm not too sure where in the timeline the Randy injury report was, but we'll just highlight this as the injury report until we form Evolution. So we'll just pretend this is the Randy injury report. I don't know if anybody ever remembers this back in the day. Admittedly, I think Evolution formed just as I'd stopped watching wrestling, but I do remember the vignettes every week of the Randy injury report was getting a lot of heat after he got injured on SmackDown, I want to say. Next up, Booker T defeats D'Lo Brown in 6-16 with the bookend. I was shocked to know D'Lo Brown was still a member of the roster, but he'll be going pretty shortly. Nothing for him. So B-76, Booker with a far better performance here. So as I say, we say the roster is quite thin. There will be a lot of guys we'll lose. D'Lo will probably be one of those people, but you never know. We might give him a new contract. Doubt it. In a hype video promoting Trish Stratus as she's getting ready for the next match, just one of those vignettes, just how she's done all this great stuff and how she just looks amazing in that. And she was in a poor match, but it saw her defeat Ivory in 8 minutes and 20 with the Stratus faction, C-59. The women's division is not stacked at all. It's talented, don't get me wrong, these two are two great athletes. I think we've got Victoria as well, who is very, very good, Molly Holly. Jacqueline was pretty good as well, so it's a decent level of ability, but there's just no depth there, so I'm unsure how we're going to go with that. But Trish improves technical and performance skills, certainly happy with that. And next up, we had a matchup which saw Goldust defeat Lance Storm in 7:57 by pinfall with a curtain call. C+66, Lance Storm with a better performance of the two. It continues the tag team storyline, both men improving performance skills, of course, Goldust and Booker T. Whilst both in singles action today are the champions, but again showing our lack of roster depth. And basically, this saw Goldust, because Booker was obviously recuperating from his match, get his ass handed to him by 3-minute warning. I loved the idea of 3-minute warning, like just two big guys coming out and just beating the crap out of people. So 3MW are definitely going to get a massive push in here. I don't think we're going to see any superhero in training, but yeah, Rosie and Jamal came down and just destroy Goldust. And that gets a C-55. Another promo from Chris Jericho, 80-90. He's basically just saying, we're 2 months away from WrestleMania, we're 3 weeks away from the Royal Rumble, and he's going to show, a first ever undisputed champion. He's going to win the title again when he wins the Royal Rumble. Next up, we've got a promo with Eric Bischoff, and he just says, if Shawn Michaels and Christian really want to be in the Royal Rumble, only one of them can be. So they'll fight tonight to get in that match. So a B79, and that'll mean a matchup coming up soon is Christian versus Shawn Michaels. That's what I'm looking forward to as well, is actually booking Shawn Michaels. It's crazy to say, but it's something I've probably not booked, or someone I've not booked, because of how lengthy my saves are, since probably EWR. We're talking about 2009 when I was playing EWR, because I had a lot of saves in that. But even then, I still had a lot of long-term saves in EWR, so maybe Shawn Michaels is someone I didn't really get the best out of. So looking forward to booking Shawn as well. Leads to a promo. Christian's obviously pissed off, just saying, why do I need to defeat Shawn Michaels? Well, if I need to end Mr. WrestleMania's dream just to show that I deserve to be in the Rumble, then I will. So it's a B83, continuing the Rumble storyline. Match itself, actually pretty disappointing. About that had superb wrestling and great heat. HBK defeats Christian in 14:27 with the sweet chin music. B-76, so we'll have a wee pissed off Christian storyline. But yeah, 95 for Shawn Michaels, 79 for Christian. I wonder why that did flop as much as it did. Let's have a look. Probably just the fact it was only a 14-minute match, so maybe if we did make that a 20-minute match, which is hard to do in a 2-hour show, but given the lack of roster depth that we might need to do, maybe something to look into. But still, B-76, cool. We know these two can then produce good things. HBK certainly can, so we'll probably use that most weeks to make sure we gain pop. Next up, hype up the main event. So it's just basically Triple H and Ric Flair saying Kane should have just stayed out of their business. Triple H is going to, continue on as champion, get into WrestleMania as champion. So it was a B plus 89. And that led us to a main event, superb matchup. Scott Steiner and Kane did defeat Ric Flair and Triple H in 1806 when Scott Steiner defeated Ric Flair by pinfall with the Steiner flatliner. In terms of in-ring work, Triple H was head and shoulders above everyone else, which is good to know. He's getting these 95 performances. B78, Steiner off his game, Flair tiring, of course because of age, that's completely understandable. Steiner and Kane didn't work as a team, so we know that going forward. And yeah, look at the performances. Kane could maybe hang, but yeah, there's no really anybody there that is on Triple H's level, which maybe explains a long title run. But Kane improves on a lot of skills, Steiner on a few as well. And the negatives, stamina's, declining physical ability, as you imagine, for Ric Flair, and the tag chemistry. But we'll utilise Rick as much as we can. And our first show, interesting. So it's a B80. There weren't enough attractive women on your show to satisfy the core male audience. Your ratio was 1 to 24. This show increased our pop in 4 regions. So we do increase pop, that's a good base to start with. I do believe this would probably go across the board in terms of popularity increase. Had we have had the attractive women thing. All this tells me is that it doesn't classify Ivory as an attractive woman, which is bonkers because you saw her in the Attitude Era and you were like, aye, Ivory, aye. So, a bit disappointing, but as I say, it's 2003 wrestling, so we do need to have attractive women on the show. So, more than likely, we'll look through our women's roster and we'll see who we can utilise to fulfil that role. There was, as I say, a few ladies that didn't appear on the show, so when it gets back to our main menu, we can have a wee look and just have a look through our roster. There's a few other things I do want to show, so we'll see how long this takes as it processes through the hirings of the World Wrestling Council, because I felt like the depth wasn't great, but we'll see what it shows anyway. So, Raw, they enjoyed the show. Heat went down particularly well. Just to give you an idea of the people that were on Heat, so you'd like Tommy Dreamer, Chris Nowinski, Molly Holly, Jacqueline, Hurricane, Rhino, Raven, Maven, Test, Stevie Richards. So, I mean, it's quite a good wee bit of wrestlers off the show. Triple A have made a deal for Hugo Savanovic, that's cool. Kevin Kelly for a couple of places. 10.38 TV rating. I don't know how that shapes up. Obviously, that'll tell us over time. Because some, like the WWE save I've got is like going to 40 odd, so I don't know how it will reflect in this. It might be a different numerical thing or whatever, but wow, Ric Flair doesn't like William Regal. Fuck you, Ric Flair, I like William Regal. I'm quite happy to push Regal in the future. So, we're a national company. Size, as I say, is at a decent level. There is no real competition from the States anyway, so it's just a case of us maintaining, well, we're not going to go less than national anytime soon. It's just a case of getting an idea of where we want to go and then pushing forward from there. As I say, importance and popularity will take over itself. We just look at our roster. If we go to the female side for Raw, so your options there: Ivory, Jacqueline, Jazz, Lita, Molly Holly, Stacey Keebler, Terry, Trish, and Victoria. I'm pretty sure Stacey Keebler's a manager, so we'll probably need to use Test there. Terry's a manager. Lita's injured, I'm sure, yep, and Jazz is injured as well. So, a bit frustrating. Maybe we should be using Victoria more, but as I say, that's cool. Actually, if we can just check that Ivory, 6 appeal 70, so might be that the reason why. I don't know what the limit is, I probably should know that and play TEW for as much as I have, but sure, Trish level 96 appeal, so that's cool. That's fine. We'll sort that out anyway, that's cool. So it's always the first couple of shows in a new mod, you just have to get used to it, and then from there you can go from strength to strength, because they all play differently. All mod makers make different stats for different people, so how you portray them may not be how the particular mod maker does. So the last thing I wanted to show was just who's all missing. So Billy Gunn is out for 4 months and 3 weeks with a damaged shoulder. Get Bradshaw missing for 3 months and 3 weeks for bicep tear. We'll slowly morph him into the BL character. Bob Holly's out for a year. Jazz is out for a month. Kevin Nash is out for 3 months and 3 weeks. Lita's out for 7 months and 3 weeks for that broken neck. Scotty Totti's out for 3 months and 3 weeks. Austin is out for another month, and then we'll bring him back to plant the seeds for Mania. Taker is out for 13 more days. What to do with Taker? Because we will be, hopefully, putting the streak as a storyline. Because they started doing it about Triple H time, which was WrestleMania 18, I want to say they first mentioned the streak properly. Yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. So I say, hopefully, after a few Raws and a few SmackDowns, we'll be fine. The plan at the moment is Raws to go live on Mondays for Monday Night Raw. So while SmackDown was booked on a Thursday, we do have the TNA save that's live on a throwback Thursday, so we'll be moving SmackDowns to Fridays. But apart from that, guys, as always, thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the little subscribe button. It should be popping up at one point soon. If you want to see other videos in this particular series, there'll be a little button as well there to check the previous playlist. Or if you just click on the channel, you can see content from TNA, from my WWE present day, which is, well, into 2020 now. So I've been working on that save for 4 years, and other stuff, maybe FM stuff that you're interested in. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Any likes, shares, comments, etc. are all deeply appreciated. And remember, you can check me out on social media at 21Maxwell as well, mostly on the Twitter and the Instagram. But cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.